Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Neha Bharadwaj and this is Game On. This is where you get the latest from the world of sports, and the caravan has moved on from the Champions Trophy to IPL 2025. That's right. The Indian Premier League is all set to begin from the 22nd of March, and with just 10 days left, we here at News9 have decided to bring you up to speed with all the changes in the 10 teams in this edition of the IPL. Now, there's been intense international cricket since the mega auction in November last year, and we've been busy watching all that action. In the meantime, though, teams have announced their captains. Well, not all the teams. Delhi Capitals are still figuring it out, but the others have. So let's give you all the details on the new leaders of the various franchises. As many as 5 teams will go into IPL 2025 with new men taking over the reins of the team, as there's been a massive churn in most teams heading into this edition of the Indian Premier League after that mega auction. The 5 teams who will have new captains heading into IPL 2025 are Kolkata Knight Riders, Royal Challengers Bengaluru, Delhi Capitals, Lucknow Super Giants and Punjab Kings. Now, this is a crash course for you, so in case you guys are wondering who are the new captains, let's begin. We begin with Mumbai Indians, and they have stuck with Hardik Pandya despite the disastrous run last season. The 5-time champions Mumbai Indians have still relied on Hardik Pandya to be their skipper in the IPL 2025, making his comeback in the franchise last year for 15 crores. Pandya was again retained by Mumbai Indians for 16.35 crore ahead of the IPL. Let's move on to the next team, Chennai Super Kings. They will be led by Ruturaj Gaikwad for the second consecutive season in IPL 2025. He was one of the top retentions for CSK. Under Gaikwad's leadership, CSK finished 5th last season, where they won 7 matches and lost an equal number. We move on to Sunrisers Hyderabad. They obviously retained Pat Cummins as their captain, given that under his leadership, SRH finished runners-up last season after they were defeated by the Kolkata Knight Riders in the final. He's been retained by the franchise for 18 crore and had a brilliant season, taking 18 wickets at an economy of 9.28. Then we move on to Gujarat Titans. They will have the talismanic Shubman Gill as their captain. Gill was appointed after Hardik Pandya was released by Gujarat, and he is their most valuable player. GT will know they have possibly the future Indian captain who is leading this team. Remember, Shubman Gill was the vice captain in the Champions Trophy, and after making it to the final in their first 2 seasons, GT managed an 8th place finish in 2024, losing 7 out of their 14 matches, and they will want to better that record this season. Then we move on to Royal Challengers Bengaluru. It's a new era for the RCB as they appointed Rajat Patidar as their captain. He is the 8th captain for RCB, and he's played 3 seasons for the franchise since joining them in 2021 and has grown into one of their key batters. Then we move on to the Lucknow Super Giants and Mr. Sanjeev Goenka. They will have a new captain in Indian wicketkeeper batter Rishabh Pant. Pant became the most expensive player in the history of the IPL. After being bought for 27 crore, Pant takes over from KL Rahul, who led this franchise for its first 3 seasons. Now, Pant moves from Delhi after being with them for 8 years. So, there you go. The Lucknow Super Giants have a new captain, KKR. Last year's IPL winners, they also have a new captain. KKR named Ajinkya Rahane a captain for the 2025 season, with Venkatesh Iyer serving as his deputy. Last year, they won the trophy under Shreyas Iyer, but they couldn't retain him. He was bought in the auction, which is Rahane. He was bought in the auction for 1.5 crore. Rahane has impressed as the Indian captain as he led India to a win in Australia in the Border Gavaskar Trophy in 2021 when Virat Kohli returned home. Now, KKR would expect that kind of winning mindset from their new captain. Then we move on to Punjab Kings. Shreyas Iyer moved on from KKR to Punjab Kings, taking over the captaincy duties from Shikhar Dhawan. Now, Ayer also shattered all the previous auction records after PBKS bought him for a whopping 26.75 crore in the mega auction. Can he make Kings a winning outfit? That's the big question. Then the last one, not the least, Delhi Capitals. They are yet to announce their captain. The big question that everyone is asking is that who is going to be DC's captain? Now, there are two names doing the rounds. You can see KL Rahul there, but the report is, and according to the reports, KL Rahul has declined captaincy. But their other contender for captaincy and the name that's been doing the round is of Akshar Patel. But yes, there are reports that suggest that KL Rahul has refused captaincy, and it seems Akshar is the right choice now, given he has played 6 seasons for the Delhi Capitals. And he has brilliant numbers. He has 23 wickets at an economy of 7.28, and he scored 1,653 runs at a strike rate of nearly 131. But Delhi Capitals still waiting to get their captain right. I'm sure they were waiting for the Champions Trophy to finish, and we will soon get to know who the captain will be for the Delhi Capitals. Now, from the IPL, we move on to all the drama in the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain, they beat Liverpool 4-1 in a penalty shootout to advance to the Champions League quarterfinals after winning a rip-roaring last 16 second leg match at Anfield 1-0 on Tuesday, thanks to a goal from Ousmane Dembele. After the tie had finished 1-1 on aggregate, PSG's goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma, he saved spot kicks from Darwin Núñez and Curtis Jones, while the visitors, who have never won the Champions League, converted all of their efforts. League One leaders PSG will meet either Aston Villa or Club Brugge in the quarterfinals, with Aston Villa taking a 3-1 lead into Wednesday's second leg. Dembele stunned the Anfield crowd with his 12th minute goal against the run of play. The goal was the earliest that Liverpool had conceded at Anfield in the Champions League since 2017 September against Sevilla. Arne Slot's team played considerably better than a week earlier when they needed a last gasp goal from substitute Harvey Elliott. Donnarumma, he was forced into making an early diving save to keep out a shot from Konate, but both sides spurned chances in a nervy game that had fans on the edge of their seats. 6 times European champions, Liverpool parked themselves in the PSG's territory for much of the second half of normal time and had a goal from Dominique Szoboszlai chalked off for offside. PSG were rock solid under pressure in the shootout, though, with Vitinha, Gonzalo Ramos, Dembele and Desirdo all finding the net. Liverpool got off to a good start with Salah slamming his effort home, but Núñez and Jones both had tame efforts comfortably stopped by the star of the night, Donnarumma, with Slot wrapping a disconsolate Núñez in a hug afterwards.
I think the first leg was all about Mr. Alisson and the second leg was about Mr. Donnarumma. So it was a 1-1 draw in that. The score was also a draw after 19 minutes and extra time. And then it was the penalties. I think the penalties also show the kind of team we are. Desire Doe took the last penalty. He's 19 years old. No problem there. I think Gigio was superb the whole match. Liverpool is one of the best teams in Europe when the ball is in the air, and Gigio gave even more at certain times to help the team, and he was superb. So we are really happy for Gigio, really happy for the team, and just happy in general with everything.
We really showed ourselves. We can be proud of what we've did. We won 7 games in a row, then we played with the substitute loss against PSV, and I think we played, now maybe last week not our best game, but today we saw a completely different Liverpool. We go out in a way that I think we've impressed Europe, but it is something now to take in consideration how much of worth it is to end up first in the league table if you can face Paris Saint-Germain in the next round. It is what it is, maybe, but maybe I'm too soon now. it would be more fair that after the in-between round is there, then that the one that wins the league table plays against the team that's lowest positions after the teams have played. But yeah, that is also because we were so unlucky to play Paris Saint-Germain, because we could have also gone to the other side of the draw.
Okay, Bayern Munich's Harry Kane, he scored 1 goal and set up another as his side beat host Bayer Leverkusen 2-0 in the Champions League last 16's second leg on Tuesday to advance with a 5-0 aggregate win to the last 8, where they face Inter Milan next month. Kane, who netted twice in last week's 3-0 first leg win, he tapped home from a close range in the 52nd minute for a 10th Champions League goal that made him the first English player to score 10 times in a single European Cup season. The England striker then delivered a one-touch pinpoint assist for Alphonso Davies to score the second goal in the 71st. In the fifth clash of the season for these two teams, Bayern got off to a stronger start and had 2 early chances through Kane. With a 3-0 first leg deficit to overcome, it was Leverkusen who had to go forward, but they were badly missing the creativity and the tempo of their injured midfielder Florian Wirtz. They did come close through Patrick Schick's header late in the first half, though, but wasn't enough. Bayern, eliminated in the German Cup by Leverkusen this season, kept the hosts on the back foot, and Michael Elise's deflected shot narrowly missed the target 3 minutes after the restart. Kane did it better, tapping in a Joshua Kimmich cross after sloppy defending from Schick to put the visitors in front and the tie to bed. Leverkusen, who've now lost their last 3 matches across all competitions, were toothless for most of the game and only got their first shot in the 62nd minute. It came as no surprise when Bayern struck again, this time with Davies drilling in from a Kane assist 9 minutes later. Bayern had several late chances to add to their tally. Bayern Munich then, their striker, Harry Kane, earned praise from the coach Vincent Kompany after scoring 1 goal and setting up another in a 2-0 victory. Okay, let's listen to the Bayern coach, Vincent Kompany, and what he has to say.
So he has a way to work towards his game, towards his performances, where you say, okay, I trust the consistency in how he's working towards the game. And then, you know, with quality, you always have your moments. And that's what's happening. Look, when things go well, I think I try to stay humble about these moments. It's a win, and obviously we get to, but there's no big statements to make here. So the same way as when we lose, like we lost against Bochum 2 days ago, I try to understand, okay, you have to go through the storm a little bit, and it's part of the job. But now we won, and I won't serve on a hype wave, no chance. My job was no different than the players' job, was to try and get a result today, and then my focus is absolutely on the Union Berlin game on Saturday, and nothing is won until it's won, and even then you look at the next thing you want to win.
And Barcelona were unstoppable on the night. Rafinha scored twice and Lamine Yamal netted with a stunning strike in a rampant first half as Barcelona dismantled Benfica 3-1 in their Champions League last 16's second leg tie on Tuesday, advancing to the quarterfinals with a 4-1 aggregate victory. Barca will meet the winner of the tie between Lille and Borussia Dortmund. They play tonight after the first leg in Germany ended in a 1-1 draw. Barca are on a 17-game unbeaten run across all competitions and are in contention for 3 major titles. Rafinha's double made him the leading scorer in the Champions League this season with 11 goals. He'd scored the lone goal last week in Lisbon. The Brazil forward put Barcelona ahead in the 11th minute. Then Yamal, he added to the lead in the 27th before assisting in Rafinha's second goal in the 42nd to become the youngest player to score and assist in a Champions League match at 17 years and 241 days. I wonder how many more records will he break along the way. Now, Barcelona lead La Liga. They've reached the Copa del Rey semi-finals where they drew 4-4 with Atletico Madrid in the first leg before the return on April 2nd. And on top of that, now there are reports and a lot of predictions where they're saying that Barca could possibly reach the final of the Champions League.
I'm really happy with that because we played against Benfica, and Benfica is a really good team. I think the coach made really a fantastic job, and I had really respect about this match today because I knew that they are really make good transitions. So this is what we also give the players on the hand, and they're doing really great. This is the way how you can win maybe titles, but it's a long wait for that in every competition, not in La Liga, in Copa, but also in the Champions League. So we said we want to fight for these titles, and we are watching always to the next match.
Okay, now let's look at the previews for the matches that are coming up tonight. There are no added expectations or pressure on Arsenal to perform in the Champions League despite their recent struggles in the Premier League. This is what their manager Mikel Arteta has said before their last 16 return leg match against PSV Eindhoven. Now, Arsenal thrashed PSV 7-1 away last week in the first leg and all but guaranteed themselves a quarter-final spot. However, their performances in the league have not been nearly as promising, with a run of 3 matches without victory, leaving them trailing leaders Liverpool by 15 points. They have also been knocked out of the FA Cup and League Cup. His defender, William Saliba, he's joked with Arteta that he could solve his selection problems up front by playing as a striker, as he used to be one when he was younger. Although he did it, or he did say it, it might be unlikely.
It's the demands that we put in every competition that we play. It's not adding pressure, it's the reality of where we are and what we want to deliver. And we are very, very, very much conscious that the demands for this football club is to reach the highest level and win those competitions. That's it. But very easy, just understanding what happened in the first game and the direction that it could have taken in the first 10 minutes after all the control that we have if we give the goal away or if the referee would have given the second yellow card to Miles. Very simple. So this is football, you have to earn it, and we're going to have to do a great job tomorrow again to win the game.
If we want to...
Okay, PSV head coach Peter Bosz, he offered to help compensate fans travelling to the Emirates Stadium with the Dutch champions trailing 7-1. Arsenal broke the record in the first leg, registering the biggest away win ever recorded in the knockout stages of the Champions League and inflicting on PSV their heaviest home defeat in club history. Now, with Arsenal all but guaranteed a place in the quarterfinals before a ball has been kicked at the Emirates, PSV's hierarchy announced that they would be reimbursing their away support who had already purchased tickets for the match. The gesture is expected to cost the club upwards of $218,000, according to ESPN, with Bosz offering to donate some of his own money to make up for his team's pitiful performance. Bosz also said that he was still holding out hope that his side could pull off a miraculous comeback, but acknowledged there's a fine line between wishful thinking and delusion. All right, another big match coming up tonight. Real Madrid versus Atletico, and Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti, he praised Atletico Madrid's counterpart Diego Simeone on Tuesday and said that they have the same idea of football as the two teams from the Spanish capital are all set to clash in the second leg of the Champions League last 16. Forward Kylian Mbappe, he missed most of Real Madrid's team training session on Tuesday ahead of their Spanish derby clash due to muscle discomfort. Now, Mbappe stayed inside the club's facilities doing individual work, and club officials said he joined the group during the final 30 minutes of training and his availability for the derby was not in danger. Real Madrid will have a narrow advantage when they visit their old rivals after grabbing a hard-fought 2-1 win at Santiago Bernabeu last week. Now, Mbappe's Fitness has been a major question mark since he missed their Spanish Cup clash at Real Sociedad 2 weeks ago after having a tooth removed. Since then, he has produced lackluster performances in 3 consecutive matches, scoring just once while he was substituted in 2 of those games. Now, manager Carlo Ancelotti was asked about Mbappe's relationship with Vinicius Jr. after many reports suggested that it has not been all plain sailing for Mbappe and that he and Vinicius don't see eye to eye. Listen in to what Ancelotti had to say.
I think I have a great respect of this manager. He's a fantastic manager, and I said before, I think we with the same idea of football.
Argentina have begun the long-awaited trial of the medical team for country's football icon Diego Maradona, who died in 2020. The case riled emotions in the South American country where the 1986 World Cup hero is revered. Watch this.
The long-awaited trial of Diego Maradona's medical team began on Tuesday in Argentina. It's a case that has sparked strong emotions in the country, where the soccer star who died in 2020 is revered. 7 members of the medical team were in court, with an 8th facing a jury trial in July. Maradona's nurses, brain surgeon and psychiatrist are among those accused of homicide by negligence. If convicted, they could face 8 to 25 years in prison or have denied any wrongdoing.
New evidence shows that there is no criminal liability for Maradona's death on any of the accused.
Outside the courthouse near Buenos Aires, fans displayed signs reading "Justice for Dios," a nickname referencing Maradona's jersey number and the Spanish word for God. Maradona died at home in November 2020, aged 60, from a heart failure. That was while he was recovering from surgery to remove a blood clot days earlier. In 2021, investigators classified the case as culpable homicide, similar to involuntary manslaughter. They determined the accused knew of Maradona's serious health condition, but failed to take necessary measures to save him. Over 100 witness testimonies, including those from family, doctors, friends and journalists, will be presented to the 3-judge court. Considered one of the greatest soccer players ever and revered for leading Argentina to World Cup glory in 1986, Maradona battled drug addiction and ill health for years. His death rocked Argentina, prompting an outpouring of grief and finger-pointing over who was to blame.
Well, that's a wrap on Game On. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.